Hey guys, welcome to another session of the Byron Sunday Sessions, and my special guest, Kyle Lonhart. And also, this is my favourite local artist here in Byron Bay, so I'm just going to put that out there right now. So it's my pleasure to have you here today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I just want to tell everyone out there, I actually remember when I met you, but I remember when I had Frankie Brown's. I met you before Frankie Brown's, but I remember really clearly when I had Frankie Brown's, which was a restaurant bar, and I was getting all the local guys to come in and play, and you were one of the guys who got in there first to play. Yeah. And mate, I used to love coming in and just sitting there and listening to you, and I loved eating the food there, of course, as well, which was good. But it was really nice to sit in and watch you play. So I just want to put that out there and let you know that was great for me to have you at that place.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was a surreal moment, being in Pete Murray's restaurant, being the young kid that grew up on your music, and like being one of the first concerts I ever went to was your concert. So
well, you told me that because we played a festival together in Tassie a little while ago, which was great. And I remember you telling me I was the first concert that you went to see, which I was going to introduce it today and just say that your first concert was really a guy that was terrible, was embarrassingly bad. But you blew it for me. So yeah. Where was that gig anyway that you came to see me?
It was Twin Towns in Tweed Heads.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
What year was it?
I think I was 13 or 14, so it would have been 2003, 2004.
So, Feeler album. Okay, yeah. Crazy times back there.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was epic. I remember. I mean, my memories of the show was insane.
It was good. Like I had a great band, the Stonemasons. We later called the band the Stonemasons. Yeah. We've been playing pretty seriously together for a few years, but my career just took off so quickly. It was like jumping in the deep end of the pool and just learning how to swim.
Yeah, and so beautiful, huh?
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Moment.
But the band was on fire. I remember playing lots of shows. We couldn't stop. The booking agent just kept booking shows for me all the time. But
yeah,
it's great and I've had this before. When people have come to my show and it's been the first show that they've been to, or parents are bringing their kids. It's the first time they see me. So. You enjoyed it? Didn't feel let down? That's good.
No, I wasn't let down. Yeah, I remember just being like, it was a surreal moment. I mean, being the first concert I'd been to as well, like proper concert. And, I spent months before then learning your songs, and then to go there and see it all live. It was one of those nights where there was no parents there. It was the older brother of my mate that took us up there, and,
nice.
It was kind of a wild night. So it was epic, and I remember just sitting back. I think I was too cool to jump up the front and sing along.
Well, I was just about to say, where did you sit? Because that's a pretty big place.
I was pretty close to the stage.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's all that. I don't know if there was a dance floor and then seating. I can't really remember.
No, the seats are pretty close to it, but there's people just stand up anyway. So anyone who's sitting down the front basically kind of has to stand up.
Yeah, I wasn't too far from the stage. But, I remember that was being like a pivotal point of inspiration, because before then I was a drummer. And
you were a drummer?
I was a drummer, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I picked up the acoustic guitar because...
That's my next question. When did you... Because I'm really interested when I talk to, my friends. Where did you grow up firstly, and how did you get into music? Yeah,
so I grew up not too far from Byron Bay at a place called Mount Wollumbin, or more commercially known as Mount Warning. My parents are still out there. I grew up on a property underneath the mountain there.
So you're a local?
Yeah, local enough.
Yeah.
And then my dad was a musician, kind of was starting to break the scene down in Melbourne. He'd done supports for Cold Chisel and stuff back in the 80s. And
what was his name?
His name's Daryl, Daryl Leonard, and he was in a band that was starting to break. I think it was called This Kids.
Okay.
I don't know. I think there was still a bit of Melbourne crew that might remember it.
Okay, yeah, right.
They're on scene down there. Anyway,
he's obviously very proud of seeing you right now.
He is. Playing, He is really proud. Funnily enough, he was a bit bitter from the industry. He kind of got close to breaking, and the classic rock and roll is, I think the drummer had an overdose, and the singer went off the rails, and
every standard band.
Yeah, standard band from the 80s. Anyway, but he's he was kind of didn't encourage me to do music. He didn't want me to.
It's really funny, isn't it? Because my eldest son now, Charlie, he's 16 and a half, he's just started to get into music, and he's playing guitar. He's actually pretty good. And he actually got invited to go to an academy in the UK for football, soccer. Yeah. Which now he doesn't really want to do. He's just he's lost the motivation, doesn't really have the interest anymore. But he know, I said, well, what do you want to do? And he said, oh, well, I wouldn't mind doing music. And I'm going, mate, that's a really tough industry. Like, think about this really seriously, because it's not easy.
Yeah.
And it isn't easy. So, but sorry, continue with your father. He tried to talk you out of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I guess the same kind of chat, you know. I was just like, I think I was always a little bit too kind of shy to think I was ever going to be a musician or a performer.
Yep.
And so I never really said that, but when he seen me, I was getting really keen. He said, you know, make sure you go get your trade first, and, you know, go find a solid job, you know, something that's going to make you an income.
It's the exact same advice that I'm giving to Charlie right now. Do some study. You just get something as
Pete,
plan
it's
B.
not going to work.
Because it's funny, because when it's in your blood, and that's what you love doing. And I mean, you know, I was a late starter into music, but I can't believe how good it is, and how much fun it is to play live. Yeah. Which is something that we're missing right now due to COVID, which we were talking about before. I mean, how tough is it for you now? You got young family. How many kids do you have? Two. Okay. Yeah. So how old are they?
They're 6 and 8.
Okay. So obviously you're really heavily affected with the lack of work that you can do at the moment
with the COVID stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's big. I think it's big on anyone. I think there's a bit of comfort in knowing there's a bit of camaraderie across the world, is that we're all just kind of don't know what's going on. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I think for musos and the music community abroad is really, really suffering, because it's not only us as artists that are losing, it's all the tech crew, it's all the venues. It's just like we're really, really suffering as an industry at the moment. And you know, I not only is it hard financially, you know, for musos like us, as we rely on that income from touring, but you know, it's like I really miss playing live. I miss the energy, I miss the people, I miss the fans. It's
and everyone does, you know. Like, I saw one of your gigs, and you know, I've seen you playing a lot of the local spots, and even busking on the street. And then I went to Splendour in the Grass. Maybe a couple of years ago when you played there.
2019.
And you blew me away.
Oh, cool.
The tent was packed. Yeah. And the vibe in there was insane, you know. I just like went, who's this guy playing? I actually didn't know it was you. Yeah, right. And it was like, oh my God, it's Kyle. Like, well done. So obviously you're progressing, and it's really going so well for you at the moment. So what I want to do, and what I normally do on this series, is I play a song with someone. I'll do, you do one of mine, I'll do one of yours, but I want you to play one just on yourself. I don't want to spoil it for you, so I don't want my fans to hear how good you are. So do you mind doing that for us?
I'll play him a quick one. I
want to get it before the sun goes down.
All right, let's do it. So this is a pretty short song, and it's kind of more of a story than it is like this classic verse chorus bridge song. I wrote this actually about my father and his relationship with his daughter. He hates this song because it exposes too much of his emotional side. All right. Sweet girl, I never knew ya. 13 in a speeding car. I guess you won't be home before dark. Sweet girl, I never knew ya. 15 when the boys would come, I voted no to keep you home. Sweet girl, I never knew ya. 19, yeah, those times were fun. You can't pay me for the day I'm done. Sweet girl, I never knew ya. But 21 didn't seem so bad. I let it go, didn't think to ask. Sweet girl, I never knew ya. But 25 through a meth stained glass. Get my advice, but the time would pass. Sweet girl, what happened to ya? Well, 28, I'm not the greatest man, but I knew better than to raise my hands. 30 years did my daughter wrong. I guess it's true what they say. You never love what you got till it's gone.
Nice work, mate. Beautiful stuff.
Cheers,
That's great.
Thanks.